So this is a 2D shape, and we are given in the unit inches. So for inch, it will be double apostrophe. This is inch. And single apostrophe is feet. So it says find the area and perimeter. Well, to find the area of a triangle, if you look at the formula sheet, is base times height divided by 2. So in this case, we know the base, which is 4. Height is 6 divided by 2. So it's 4 times 6, 24 divided by 2. Area is going to be 12. For apostrophe, rather than writing the symbol again, just write inch with square. Now, keep in mind for perimeter, the unit has a degree or the exponent of 1. For area, has a degree or the exponent of 2. And volume has a degree or the exponent of 3. So that's why you will see exponent of 2 for area. Now, to find the perimeter is you're adding all the 3 sides. So in this case, A plus B plus C. But if you take a look, we don't know what C is. So just by looking at it, well, we can find C by using a Pythagorean theorem. So on the side, let's do a Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 6, it's one of the legs, and then 4 is equal to C squared. So 36 plus 4 times 4 is 16 equals C squared. So you get 52 equals C squared. Now the opposite of squaring is we got to square root both sides. And C is equal to, round to maybe 1 decimal point, so it will be 7.2 inch. Okay. Now that we have found the length of C, which is the hypotenuse, we can finally plug it into our perimeter formula. So 4 inch plus 6 inch and 7.2 inch. So when you add them all together, it will give you 17.2 inch in perimeter. And keep in mind, the unit is inch because the degree is 1. Okay. So next question, for the next 6 question you will see below, it's asking find the surface area for the left column and then volume for the right column. So let's identify the first shape. So you will notice that it's a cylinder. So I look at your formula sheet, and you will notice that for cylinder, the surface area, right? It's asking for surface area for the left column. Surface area for the cylinder is equal to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So that should be your first step. And after you figure out the shape and the formula, we're going to plug in all the information that we have. But not so fast. You will notice that the radius is 14 centimeter, but the height is in meter. So you have to make sure that the units are in the same unit. So what I would recommend is you have to, let's convert meter to centimeter. So on the side, we're going to change meter to centimeter. And if you look at the conversion chart, you will know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So using this information, I'm going to do it in, let's say, pink. 2.1 meter times, so this is from previous lesson, meter goes at the bottom and centimeter goes at the top. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So meter and meter cancels out. So you get 210 centimeter divided by 1, which is 210 centimeter. So now the units are the same. So let's write down all the givens. So we know that the height is going to be 210 centimeter. And we know the radius, right? The radius of a circle is 14 centimeter. Well, let's plug in. 2, so for pi, you can plug in 3.14. Or what you could do is you could plug in pi button on your calculator. Both will work. And the radius is 14 squared plus 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times radius, 14, times height, which is 210, right? The one that we converted, 210. And they're all in centimeter. And I do want to let you know that I'm going to put a star here. Pi is 3.14. So use this. Okay, so now let's start. So 2 times 3.14. So 14 times 14 will give me 196. Plus, you can do all of this in one step actually, if I want. So you're going to do 2 times 3.14 times 14 times 210. When you put everything together, this is what you get. And when I punch all this together, you get 1230.88. And then plus 18463.2. And then last step is surface area is equal to 19,694.08 centimeter, because it's an area, squared. And don't forget to square box your final answer. Okay, so that's how you find the surface area. So all you need to do is just identify the shape, write down the formula, and plug it in and do the calculations correctly. Now, I want to show you guys how to do number 3. So number 3, what kind of shape it is? It's a cone. So find the cone formula for the surface area, and the cone surface area, it says pi r squared plus pi r s. Now, it looks like I have the radius, and the units are exactly the same, so I don't need to convert anything. So we do know that the radius is 13, which we know here. But do we know what the slant height is? No, we don't. We know the height, 31 centimeter. This is the height. But this is a slant height, which is S. So we need to first figure out S first. So the rule of thumb is that every time you're looking for a height or slant height, think of a Pythagorean theorem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half and make a right angle triangle. So if I were to derive this, it will look like this. So slant height is what I'm looking for. We know the height. It looks like the height is 31 centimeter. And we also know the radius at the bottom. The radius, it's saying is 13. So using Pythagorean theorem, let's identify the hypotenuse, which is opposite from 90 degree. So we could say a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which is s squared. We know a could be 31 squared, and b is 13 squared, and s squared. So 31 squared is 961, plus 13 times 13 is 169, s squared. So then if I added 1,130, And opposite of squaring should give me square root both sides. And therefore, you will get S is equal to 33.6 centimeter, approximately. Okay, so now that we have found the slant height, now we can plug it in. S is equal to 33.6. So let's plug in all the information. So pi is 3.14 times radius is 13 squared plus pi 3.14 times radius is 13 and slant height is 33.6. Now, so 3.14 times 13 times 13 will give me 169. And then you're going to do all of this all at once. Punch it in your calculator. You'll get 1,371.55. And then when I multiply these two, I get 530.66 plus 1,371.55. So we're going to add this together. Therefore, the surface area is 1,902. I would say let's round to 2, okay, centimeter squared. Okay, good. And that's it. So if you want, you could round your answer to 1 decimal or two decimal. Okay, that's totally fine. Okay, so now I think we're a little bit more comfortable with surface area. Why don't we try finding volume? So we can try finding volume for a sphere. So for number 4b, it's a sphere. And look at the formula for sphere for volume. Volume of sphere is 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. So in this equation, I don't need anything other than the radius, which we're given. It looks like radius is 4 feet. So let's plug it in. 4 times 3.14 times 4 cubed divided by 3. So 4 times 3.14. Now 4 cubed is what it is 4 times 4 times 4, 3 times. And that will give me 64 divided by 3. And then punch everything in the calculator for the numerator and then divide it by 3. Volume, you're going to get 267.9 feet. Because it's volume, the unit has to be cubic. And that's how you find the volume. Okay, good. Now, next question. Now, when you are given, let's say, different shapes, and it asks us to draw the nets. So drawing the net is, if I were to, disassemble this 3D shapes, what is it going to look like in a 2D shape? Okay, so for example, if I have a, let's say like, this, so this will be the net for a rectangular pyramid. And so if I have to draw this in 3D, it will look like this. So this will be the net, and this is actually the object in 3D. Okay, so let's try number 5. So it says draw the net for number 5. So it looks like we have the base is you can consider base to be a triangular prism. Okay, so I could consider this to be the base, right? So therefore, if I have a base of a triangle, let's see, I can draw it this way. And it looks like this is a equilateral triangle because we have 5 yard, 5 yard, and 5 yard. So it's going to look exactly the same. It's an equilateral triangle. And the base is a rectangle. I mean, the side is rectangle. It's 5 by 6. This is the side. Okay. So therefore, we have a side here. And then we have a side here on this side, and then we have a side here, and we have the top for the triangle. And again, this is a equilateral. So because this is 6, that means this must be 6. This is 5, 5, 5. This is the length of 6. This is 5, 5, 5. And I want you to notice that this length, what would this length be? This length will be right touching over here, right? When you fold it. So this must be 5 as well, and 5, 5, and 5 yards. Okay. So I could represent it as a tick mark. So this will be 5, 5. They're all the same. But these, I'm going to put 2 tick marks representing that they are all 6 yards, the same. Okay. And then let's try number 6. So we have, what kind of base is this? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 sides, and we call that hexagon. So we have a hexagonal prism. So therefore, the base is hexagon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all the same, meaning they're all going to be 3 millimeter. And then it's going to be how many sides? There's going to be 6 of them, right? Because it's surrounding 6 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and the side length is 10. So this is 10 millimeter, and they're all the same. And this length must be 3 millimeter as well. So I'm going to put a tick mark on all this, saying that this one tick mark is 3 millimeter, and the double tick mark is going to be 10 milliliter. Okay. And for number 8, all you need to do is just match the following objects with their nets. So you're given 4 different shapes in 3D, and you have to mix and match what it relates to for A, B, C, and D. So you'll notice that, well, obviously for 11, it must be A, right? Because I see like a triangle base and this rectangular side. So 11 is A. And then you will notice that, okay, so I see there's a triangle and a square base. So it must be D for number 9. And then for 8, you notice that it's all square. So all square, so it must be C. And then for D, it looks like I have a pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here, pentagon shape. So it must be B.